This is a brass bound mahogany box, and let's have a little bit of a closer look at it. We can see that it's got a good handle, flush campaign handle to the top, with a little fingernail hole there so you can open it, and that's engraved with the name Leslie S.B. Pollock. We'll come on to him a little bit later. Let's have a look at the box first of all. Brass on mahogany or teak is a great look, and this box really does emphasize that. We can see that instead of having short straps, it's got straps which extend all the way around on the sides and going a good distance to the back, and all the way along the back, over the top and back down to the front. So it really is very brassy and looks all the better for it. So what sort of box is this? Well, originally it was made as a dressing case box. So inside it would be fitted with trays and dividers to take a shaving brush, little jars, dividers for razors, toothbrushes, etc., etc., so that you could groom yourself whilst travelling. So let's have a look inside. We can see to the top you've got a padded velvet leather board with a nice gilt-tooled border, and this would have just held down the contents to the interior, stop them moving around. We've got a little catch here which can open the leather board, and a recessed area, and in there would have sat a dressing mirror which you could then take out to use. Now we can see from the tray that and the interior well that this box essentially has had all of the dividers removed. If we look a little bit closer, let's see, hopefully you can just see there that little gap which would have taken a divider which would have run down to this edge here with a corresponding gap down there. Those have all been removed and it's been relined in this quite nice paper. And the reason for this is probably that either too many of the contents were lost over time, that quite often happens, possibly some of the dividers got damaged, or at some stage an owner just said, well look, I'm never going to use this as a dressing case, I want to have a more modern practical use for it, and so I'm going to get it turned into a document box. And this happens quite often with dressing cases. You'll see a lot of them where the contents have been lost and they've been repurposed. And actually, for modern use, it is very practical. You've got this nice tray with these steel handles where you can put documents. I mean, perhaps this section at the top, you could hide your passports in if you wanted, or other documents. It's a well-made box, very good looking, and still very practical. So on to the likely owner. Well, there is a Leslie S.B. Pollock, who was an artist, a Victorian artist. There's not a lot known on him, but we do know that he was a member of the Royal Academy, and that there was a painting, a watercolour that he did, a triple portrait of 3 dogs, which was very nicely done. And I think given the fact that you've got 3 initials with a name, L for Leslie, S and B before the surname Pollock, means there's a very good chance that this box belonged to him. Thanks. So although we can't be 100% sure that this was his box, I think there's a good chance. And it's a very nice brass bound mahogany box from the second half of the 19th century, probably around about 1875 in date. and been updated to give it a modern, practical use.